So I truly believe that a lot of minorities, right, in particular men, are starting to open their eyes to what the Democrat Party really is about. And you can just see that with Trump, right? I think he gained a lot of men and many of the demographics. But before I share my theories on why that's happening, let's just hear what this guy has to say, and then I'll share my thoughts.
If you're a minority in 2025 and you're a Democrat, you're a retard, man. It's actually unbelievable. The Democrats' entire track record of modern history is empty BS promises of just using identity politics as a Trojan horse for votes. They've never done nothing for black people. They've been promising that life is going to be good for niggas for the last 30 years, and nothing's happened. Everything's been the exact same. Y'all just eat the bullshit up every single time. They don't give a damn about illegals. They just use them for slave labor. They don't give a damn about the gays no more. It's just like every couple years, every election cycle, there's just this new thing to care about, and they promise all these protections, and they do absolutely nothing. The Democratic Party is just a giant circle jerk hug box consortium of people that take the easy way out and let the authorities think for them instead of thinking for themselves. And they never present their own morals. They never present their own plans or their own values. The only thing Democrats do is virtue signal about why you shouldn't like the other side.
He's exactly right. And this is what the Democrats are really good at. See, what they do is they're good at really finding the minority, right? The minority group that feels disenfranchised, right? They feel like they're not getting a fair share of this American dream, right? And they find that minority, and then they convince them to feel like victims, right? The reason why you're not successful, the reason why you're not able to get the things that you want, is because there's some outside force that is oppressing you, right? Especially so when you look at black people. It's systemic racism, it's white people, it's anything that they can use to say that the reason why you're struggling is because of this group. When you look at women, they'll say, oh, men are oppressing you, the patriarchy, right? Or gays, it's the straight people, the homophobes. They always find the minority. You look at the immigrants, it's always someone where they can find the minority that feels the most oppressed, and they use that discomfort to say, all right, if you vote for us, we'll get you the things that you want. And just look at student loans, right? Student loans, right? They're really good at when it comes to saying, hey, you know what, you got all these student loans, what we'll do is we'll forgive you, right? They like to dangle that carrot, like, hey, if you vote for us, we'll forgive your student loans. And they do it all the time during election year. They're like, hey, they dangle that carrot, like, hey, if you vote for us, we'll forgive your loans. Like, hey, you just vote for us. And they never do it. And guess what? People continue to vote. All right. And I think especially another thing, especially when it comes to black men, I think for a lot of black men, right? Because I think we're seeing more and more black men leave the Democrat Party and go Republican. And I think for a long time is that, especially for black people, I think the men and women, right, since they had their struggle together, that everything that they've been through, they used to vote Democrat, right? They made it seem like, all right, the reason you black people are struggling is because of racism, all types of stuff. So it's easy for the black man and the black woman to vote together. However, we have division in this country, right? Especially when it comes to the male and the female. Right, and it's not just black people, but it's just overall. But just say for the sake of black people, I think black men are starting to say, all right, you know what, we're not even able to get along with the black women that we're with, right? And you see that division. So it's like black men are starting to say, all right, if I don't even have the black women on my side, what's the point of me even voting for them? And they're starting to see the Democrat Party, who is more geared toward the feminine, they're more geared to women, and black men are starting to see like this party is no longer for us. So I'm going to go over here where I see there's more masculine energy. They understand the importance of a man. They understand the importance of a father in society, because you have the Democrat Party that wants to kick men out. They just look at welfare. They says, hey, make sure that you have no men in the household. We'll make sure to give you health care, we'll give you housing, we'll give you everything you need. So they're pushing the man out. So I think for a lot of men, we're starting to see that the Democrat Party is not for men. All right. And we're going over here where you get more masculine energy, that they promote masculinity, right? The importance of men. So I think for a lot of black men, they're seeing that, and they're just saying, you know what, the Democrat Party, I see that they're they're not for us. They don't help anyone. They're just talking, right? And not only that, but they cause a lot of problems that they try to find solutions for, right? This is what they do. They'll cause the problem and then provide the solution for that and say, hey, if you vote for us, we can solve this problem, when they're the reason that this problem happened in the first place. So Democrats are really good at finding that little small minority group that feels disenfranchised and saying, hey, we can be the solution to your problem. So, and they're the problem, and they're the problem. They're the reason why that problem began in the first place.
It's really pathetic. It's pitiful that we have grown adults that are able to vote and have influence in our society that are only capable of using a very small fraction of their brain. It's so sad. And like, people just say Trump bad and don't even understand why. They don't look up any of the ammunition that they use to tear Republicans down with. It is hilarious. Like, I don't even get offended at all the insults that like lefties send my way when I'm going back and forth with them, because I'm like, oh my gosh, your brain power is like the equivalent of like a bag of like frosted like animal crackers. Like, that's the computing power that some of you niggas have with your brain. It's unbelievable.
Well, a lot of that is just brainwashing, right? It's easy for a lot of people to feel like victims, right? It's easy for someone to be, made a victim, right? Because it's an easy thing to do. Because when I look at the Democrat and the Republican Party, right? When I look at the Republican Party, I look at a party that focuses more on personal responsibility, right? They're the type of party that says, hey, I am in ownership of the things of the choices I make in life. As far as government, we understand that you're important, but we don't need you. We don't need you as much as you think you need us, right? We need you to protect our rights and our freedoms, and make sure you protect us from foreign invasion, right? Other than that, let us live our lives. Let us have the freedom to make the decisions that impact our life. We don't need you to help us, all right? We don't need you. We don't need government to do anything for us other than protect our rights. That's it. And when I look at the Democrat Party, they are a party that wants more government. They want more government in their lives. Like, they can't make the decision without government. They need government to have every aspect of their life to make decisions for them, right? When they make a mistake, right, they can get their mistake corrected because of government intervention instead of taking personal responsibility. And you see that all the time with the Democratic Party. They love playing the victim card. Everything about them is about being a victim. Oh, this is, it's not my fault. They never want to take personal responsibility, which is why you see a lot of them just not happy, because they never own their problems, right? Like I said, the Republican Party, they're about personal responsibility, individualism, right? You are in control of your own life. You're responsible for how you manage your family, the decisions that you make, right? Whether how much money you make. All we ask for is the government stay our lives. Don't inflate our dollar, making things more expensive, making life much harder for us. Let us be in control of our lives. And that's the difference I see when it comes to Democrats and the Republicans, right? Even though they make it seem like Democrats are for poor people and Republicans are for rich, when it's just straight nonsense. Like, the Democrats claim to be for poor people, but they're the reason why those Democrats are poor, because they need, their constituents poor, because then they can always try to provide solutions, meaning more government, which we all know that government is just so inefficient. I would never rely on the government, right? If you live by the government, you die by the government. And I think that's the difference between the Democrats and the Republican. So, and I think you're seeing a lot more, especially minorities, black men going over to the Republican Party, because they're starting to see that we're starting to see that there's nothing in the Democrat Party. I left the Democrat Party in like 2016, 2015. I was done. I can see how corrupt they were. I left them a long time ago. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and share. And if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe. So guys, take care. Have a good one. Later.